Hello, friends. I am Anne. I am happy to be here practicing with you today. Today's practice is going to be a introduction to yoga. It's geared towards yoga for recovery, whether it's recovery from an injury. I also wanted to gear this towards my students that I have met along the way in recovery for addiction or mental health. So I'm really happy to share this practice with you. It's a nice slow practice. If you're just getting into yoga and you're not in recovery for anything, this is still a great introductory practice. So let's come together and get started. We're going to sit in Sukhasana, an easy cross-legged position. It's also known as easy pose. It might not feel easy to you, but you can see I'm sitting up on a cushion here. You don't have to sit on a cushion, but if you have tight hips, that's really helpful. Sit to the front edge of the cushion so your knees can kind of drop down. And then move your heels more towards the center line of your body, okay? So if your feet are tucked underneath your legs, take your knees a little bit further apart. And we're going to start sitting up nice and tall, bringing your thumb to touch your index finger pad or the nail, and just letting your hands relax down onto your thighs, palms turned down to start, eyes closed. Welcome to your yoga practice. You have arrived. Start to listen to your natural breath you brought to your mat today. Just observing the temperature of your breath, the texture. Deepening the breath so it can reach all four corners of your body. Take a moment to clear your mind of any anticipation from your thoughts to your practice here. If you are new to a yoga practice, do your best to start off and enter today's practice with an open heart, an open mind. We clear away resistance and maybe thoughts we have about the practice, and we just are open to receive. Listen with your ears to all the different sounds happening around you. Finding the more obvious sounds, and then the more quiet sounds that are in the background. Letting everything come together as the background to your practice. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. Your intention might be one single word you want to focus on, or it might be something very specific you're working towards. State your intention in your mind 3 times in a row so you can really hear what it is. We'll start to follow our breath. Move your breath in and out through your nose. As you inhale, picturing the breath moving up the spine in front of the body, from the base all the way to the crown of the head. The breath circles around the crown of the head, and as you exhale, it moves down the back body all the way back down to the base of your spine. Circling around the bottom of your body, inhaling up the front body. Exhaling down the back body. The breath is like a bicycle chain, inhaling up the front. Exhaling down the back. Try to keep your concentration on your breath. If you ever notice that the mind has wandered off, bring it back to the task at hand. Feel the body as you're noticing the breath, bringing in a state of calm as we slowly declutter our thoughts. Inhaling up the front body, exhaling down the back body. Try your best to stay as still as possible. Softening your face and your jaw and whatever else in your body might feel like it has tensed. Three more breaths up the front body as you inhale, down the back body as you exhale. Beautiful work. Let's gently blink our eyes open, and if you want to, stretch your legs out. If you're not used to sitting cross-legged like this, it can get really stiff, right? So I want you to feel comfortable. And then when you're ready, switch the crossing of the legs so the opposite foot is in the front, and if it's just too much to cross your legs, sit in a comfortable position for this next part. So we are going to do one more breath exercise here while we're on the ground. We'll take the peace fingers of our right hand and place it on our third eye center, so between your two brows. Okay, that stimulates that intuition, the inner knowledge, and we're using our thumb and our ring finger to plug off right and left nostril. Now, if you have any sinus issues today, or you just can't, for whatever reason, breathe through your nose, you can try using your opposite hand and kind of pulling your cheek apart. When you get really good, you can use the same hand. And if it's just not working, you're visualizing the breath, right? Or if you have to breathe through the mouth, again, visualize the breath on either side of the body, okay? So right peace fingers, place it at your third eye, and we'll start off on the left side. So you'll plug off your right nostril with your thumb, and your eyes can stay open or they can close here. Empty your lungs, and start to inhale through the left side for 2, 3, 4, pause at the top, hold both shut, 2, 3, 4, exhale through the right side, 2, 3, 4, inhale right side, hold both shut, beautiful, exhale left, that's one full round. Let's do 2 more together. Inhale left. Maybe try closing the eyes if you're comfortable. Hold both shut. Exhale right side. Inhale right. Hold both shut. Exhale left. Last round, inhale left. Hold both shut. Exhale right. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Just let your hands rest down. Take a moment to really feel the calm that has entered your body here. Let's come off of our little bolsters or pillow. If you don't have a bolster, place it off to the side, and you'll sit on your mat so you have room to stretch out. Doesn't really matter if you're on your mat or not. Stretch your right leg out to the right. Bring your left foot into the inner right thigh. Send your right hand down the right shin. Keep both sitting bones anchored. And then slowly reach your left arm up and over the ear. Turn the palm to face down. Relax your shoulders out of your ears. Let your head maybe hang in space. Move that bottom shoulder away from the ear. And just feel your side body opening. Okay, a gentle side body stretch. We want to get 6 different movements in the spine every single day. So side to side stretching, forward and backward stretching, and then twisting each direction. So our spines stay really nice and supple and healthy. So just breathing into the feeling. Some of us are stuck more upright, but I definitely encourage you to not overdo it. Once you feel like you can really go deeper into it, maybe your hand reaches for your foot. That's obviously many, many, many breaths away for me today. I always start slow in my practice and, save the deepest stretching for the end. Let's come on upright. Turn towards your stretched out leg. Reach both arms up to the sky. Flex your right toes back and then reach for your foot or for the mat here. Square your shoulders to the ground. Neutralize your gaze so your neck isn't straining. And then feel your lower back. I always feel my outer hip stretching. And a lot of us are really tight in the hamstring, so you can bend the knee of your right leg if you need to. The more you flex your right ankle back, the deeper it'll get into that lower part of your leg. If you're not somebody who has done much stretching in your life, or you just have been away from it for a while, we might feel really stiff. So remember, your breath is your friend here. Let's focus our breath the best we can in and out through the nose. And anytime you need to release a little tension, exhale big, exhale through the mouth. That can be really helpful. Let's come on up. You'll extend your right hand over towards your left knee and your left hand behind you for a really gentle twist. Sit up really tall through your spine. Anchor through both sitting bones. And just rinse out the body. So some of you don't know this about me, but I've been working for about the last 10 years in recovery for addiction and for just anything mental health. And so this might be a typical beginning class I would do with a group or a person when they're just starting out. Sometimes you come to the mat not feeling very good. You've been detoxing, you are under or overweight, you're just in a different place than you might feel when you're feeling good. Unwind back to center and switch your legs. So I've kind of just geared this class. Hopefully some of you guys are my students and you're seeking practice after your maybe 30 or 90 days. Send your left hand on your leg, right arm up and over, palm turns down, soften the shoulders, get into your side ribs. So I'm happy to be here with you. Please reach out. Any questions you might have. I'm definitely not an expert on this stuff, but I have been doing it for quite a while. So kind of figured out what works, what's a great place to begin. And if you are just here because you're here and you're just wanting a mellow practice, I'm happy to have you too. Or if you're brand new to yoga, this is a great way to start. Good. Come on up. Square your shoulders towards your stretched out leg. Really flex the toes back. Maybe bend the knee if you know you need it. Lengthen both arms up and then reach for whatever you can grab. Square your shoulders and bow in. When you're just starting with yoga or you have, gone through a 30-day program or something like that, we just have to start someplace. So just remind yourself, maybe you've had a yoga practice before, but you want to start from scratch. Maybe you've been doing more vigorous yoga and just realizing that slowing it down can be so beneficial. We work on decluttering our thoughts, really working on finding some self-worth, right? Finding our inner strength. Come on up, extend your left hand to your right knee, your right hand behind you, and just rinse out what's not serving your purpose. Breathing into the tighter spots in the body. I always say in my practice that we twist to detoxify, to let go. And we do, and we can just do the practice, and we don't have to think about what we want to let go of. We're just doing the work, and we get the benefit from it. So whether you want to come here and really do a mental cleanse or you're just showing up and that's all you can do today, both are great. Come on back to center. Let's one more time cross the legs. And you can also do a V shape in the legs if the knees are not happy here, but I'm on the ground this time. Your hands are going to kind of find your knees and we start with stoofy rolls. So heart across your right thigh, chest sweeps forward. Exhale, circle around the back. So something I like to mention is I make playlists to do in the background of my practice. You can find me on Spotify and follow one of my playlists, or you can just make your own favorite music to put behind your yoga practice if it feels too quiet for you. I personally, especially when I am in person, I love playing music. It is really part of, for me as a teacher, the way I teach. So it's funny that I'm always doing these practices with you guys and there's no music in the background. So definitely consider that, especially if you're just starting out. It can help you stay with it. The music helps my mind relax. So even if it's just soft music in the back, breathe into creating space in your body here. We're loosening up any tight spots. We're getting into tired places. We're just feeling. We're going in and feeling our body. Noticing if there's busyness in the mind. Remember, we are great manifestors. We manifest almost everything that is in our mind. So if you fill your mind with lots of doubt and worry, fear, anger, that stays with you. You know, it might even turn into something bigger. When you come around the front, let's switch directions. If you want to switch your legs, you can. Sometimes that's just helpful for balance. But also it works in the opposite way. When we think of positivity, we set intentions, we really pave the path for success. Okay, we are great manifestors. You want to feel good? Manifest it. Do things for yourself. Nothing just happens by itself. Well, some things happen by themselves, but we have to do stepping stones. We have to set ourselves up. So maybe dedicate to a yoga practice every day or every other day. Decide to eat healthy at least one of your meals, maybe two, maybe all three every single day, or however you eat. Get to bed on time, drink enough water, go for a walk, all these things that can help bring success into our lives. And slowly start to wind up to a taller, stiller spine. When you get there, just pause. I want you to just check in. When you find the stillness, close your eyes. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a beautiful glassy lake. Beautiful glassy lake. And you pick up a stone and you throw that stone into the center of the lake. And it makes a splash. And then slowly there are ripples in a circular pattern coming off of where the rock hit the water. The ripples are the thoughts in your mind. You slowly watch the ripples move out further and further away. And they slowly get smaller and smaller. Smaller and smaller until the glassiness of the lake is back. We quiet our minds here. We're learning how to calm ourselves down, how to find some space between our thoughts. Let's travel to our hands and our knees. Okay, this first one, we're just tucking our toes under, and then you're turning your fingertips back to face your knees, a little bend in the arms. Some of you might be too tight to do this, so just get to a place, if it's just too tight, just it's not happening, put your hands together and drop your hands instead. So you get a little dual stretch, a little bit in the feet, a little bit in the forearms. Don't lock your elbows out and breathe into space. So we're just creating a little bit of awareness in all the different places in our body today. Okay. Breathe some release, I should call it, into any tight places. Good. Turn your hands around. The hands are upside down, so the fingertips are going to face your knees. Spread your fingers out, and then lean back a little bit and just feel your forearms. Don't push down too hard. The wrists are tender. They're delicate. And then just shake out your hands. Okay, hands below shoulders, knees below hips. Hug down through your shins. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. And then a few rounds of cat-cow. We melt our heart. Gaze forward, open your throat. Find some flexibility in your spine. Exhale, round. Really push your hands. Let your head drop. Coil up and in through your belly. Release your neck. Maybe turn your head a little bit side to side. At least this first one, just to release neck. Inhale, melting heart. Chest opens, throat opens. Exhale, rounding. Beautiful. Inhale, melting heart. Exhale, rounding spine. 2 more. Inhale, melting. Exhale, rounding. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Good. Send your hips back towards your feet. Knees, for me, I like them a little bit apart, but not too far. And then stretch your arms forward. Connect your forehead to the earth below you. Relax your shoulders. If you want to, you can keep the arms somewhat engaged, keeping the forearms lifted, or you can completely just relax everything. Let's do a cranial dump. So the space, same space we touched during alternate nostril breathing, the third eye is connecting to the earth below you. Let's do a cranial dump. We're dumping any thoughts that are in the mind down into the mat that aren't working for us. Any old ways of thinking, or any old habits, anything that just doesn't work. Okay, anything that doesn't feel good or supported. As we release what's not serving us into the earth, we understand that the earth can handle all of that energy that doesn't work for us. It will recycle it and turn it into something beautiful, a flower, a tree. Even if we're on our yoga mat, we're in a room, we're not actually touching the earth, it's going to get there eventually. So as we release what doesn't work for us, we create space to grow, to experience, to have a new way of thinking about ourselves or about others, a new way of handling relationships. And just reminding yourself anything's possible. Take 3 more breaths, just letting go of anything you're battling in your mind. Maybe even physically in your body, anything that's holding you back. Every breath is the opportunity to start something new. This next inhale you take could be the shift that you need to make, that you want to make. Let's stretch your arms out, get them to be active again. We'll travel up onto our hands and our knees. And we'll find our first down dog. So you're tucking your toes under, you're sending your hips up and back. The hands are shoulder distance or maybe slightly wider. Your fingers are spread out. All 10 finger pads press down into the earth. Your feet are hips width. So that's about 2 fists fitting between your big toes. Toes are facing forward. The wrists are lined up with the front line of the mat. Once you get here, if this is newer to you, the idea is we're creating a triangle in our body. So our back is flat, it's not arched, it's not rounded, our head hangs between our arms, and maybe the knees are bent if we're really sore today or tight.
And then just spend some time here pedaling the legs. So you bend one knee, straighten the opposite leg, and go back and forth a few times. Just working out tightness. I always tell my students, if you don't do down dog every day, it can feel very awkward. The more you do it, the more this feels like home. So stay with it. Build the strength in your wrists, your fingers. It can make you feel a little lightheaded. All of that will balance out over time. Let's walk hands back to the back of our mat, and we take our first forward fold. Bend your knees quite generously. Hinge at the waist. Folding in half. Head hangs completely heavy. Belly is close to the thighs. If you're comfortable, you can grab across and grab opposite elbows, getting your spine to feel a little bit longer. Let the arms feel heavy. Folding in half helps our internal organs get a little rinse. Great for the back body, your spine. And even here, we have another opportunity that off the crown of our head, we drip any tension into the earth. We let it just fall and slack off our body. And again, if you don't do this often, it can make you feel a little dizzy. Just take it in, slow baby steps if you're new to the practice. Good. Hands released, knees are bent, head and shoulders are last to come up. I want you to press into your feet and start to ragdoll up to a standing position. Head rushes are normal. I just got one myself. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down the back. Okay, let's find still space in the body. Palms turn forward, and we work into Tadasana, standing mountain pose. So when I said 2 fists fitting between the big toes, if you make 2 fists next to each other, you should be able to place them between your feet evenly. And just start here by finding your balance. Shift to the right and left, just slowly feeling the bottoms of your feet and how when you lean one direction or another, the weight shifts. Be really curious about it, like it's the first time you've ever noticed. Maybe it is the first time. Lean back, lean forward. Spread your toes out. And then try to find center and actually look down at your feet. And all of us do something funny with our feet. We might turn them out or in, or just one does something funny. Get your second toe to face straight forward so your feet are forward. That might feel really weird in your body if you're not used to standing with your feet forward. And then lift up through the crown of the head. So again, we're finding that center place on our feet. Top of our head is lifting. Palms are turning forward. We stand in this mountain pose. This is a foundation for all of our yoga poses, right? And hugging to the midline, from side to side, front to back. Let's take some half salutations, just starting to warm up our body and just feel what it feels like to move. Inhale, let's sweep arms out and up, all the way to the sky. At the top, kiss the palms together. I like looking up here. You don't have to. Bend your knees, bring your hands right through the center of your body. Try to stay balanced on your feet as you fold all the way forward. At the bottom, just kind of surrender everything. With your inhale, bring your hands onto your shins or maybe your thighs if you're tighter. Flatten your back. And don't forget to lean slightly into your toes if you're getting really heel heavy here. Knees can stay bent if you're tight. Fold, exhale, slow and steady. We slowly inhale, ragdoll up to stand. Shrug your shoulders up, back and down the back. Exhale into Tadasana. Palms turn forward. Find that center space. Again, inhale, arms sweep out and up. Kiss the palms. We're trying to create this moving meditation feeling. Exhale, fold right through center. Let it go. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen your back body. Maybe the eyes close at any time you like. Exhale, fold back in. Press down through your feet. Slowly inhale, rise up to stand. Shrug shoulders up, back, and down the back. Exhale into standing Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep arms up. One more time like that. Exhale, beautiful, folding all the way forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend knees, ragdoll up. Shrug shoulders up, back, and down the back, palms turn forward. We're going to move on. Inhale, sweep the arms up, kiss palms. Exhale, fold through. Inhale, lift up halfway, flatten through your spine. Fold back in, and we're going to walk forward into your version of plank. It might be a really strong plank. It might be knees down with a little modification. Okay, 3 deep breaths here. Push the earth away. Try to keep length in your neck. Belly hugs spine. Take a deep breath. The elbows are going to bend back. So instead of out to the sides, they bend back. And we slowly, like a board, lower to the ground. Try not to do the worm. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, we're on the earth. Flatten down to the tops of your feet. Spread your toes out and press your legs down into the ground. Slide your hands back so the fingertips line up with the center of your chest. Elbows reaching back and together. Okay, we start here and we inhale, lift up into a baby cobra. Feet stay grounded, elbows reach back, neck stays long, so don't look too far forward. Exhale, ride the breath back down towards the earth, slow lowering down. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, lift up, cobra. We find that back bend in our spine. Exhale, slow lower down. 1 more time, cobra. Beautiful work. Exhale, lower. Press up onto your hands and your knees and head back into your child's pose. Take a breath here. Let's take 5 breaths here at least. And again, you have that ability to kind of just let go down into the ground. And I like to mention child's pose is always available. So if you're ever in the middle of a practice and you just need to take a break, come into child's pose. Let's make our way back into our downward facing dog. As you come into down dog, tuck your toes, lift your knees and hips up and back. Let your head hang heavy. Okay, take all the weight into your left foot and reach your right leg up behind you, lifting from the inner right thigh. Start to bend your right knee and just open up your right hip. Try to stay balanced through the 3 limbs that are on the ground. Take another breath here. Good. Slowly bring your right knee to your chest and step the right foot between your hands. Scoot the foot forward if it hasn't made it all the way to the top of your mat in that 1 step. Lower the back knee down towards the ground. It's really nice to have yoga blocks if you're really stiff. I was like, what word am I looking for? Stiff. You can also pad your back knee if you have really tender knees, okay? Crawl your hands up onto your front thigh, square your hips and shoulders, and just hang out here for a moment. So you'll notice that my back knee is back behind my center of my body. So if you're right on top of your knee and you're short here, well, this doesn't feel good in the knee, right? We want to get into our hips here a little bit. So you're sinking forward, but you're not at your deepest place. Okay, so find a good balance. Eyes are still. Let's look at something with our eyes that's not going to move. And then slowly, if you're ready for more, you reach your hands up, turn your palms to face each other. Fingers are active, even spread your toes out here. Use your breath to concentrate on staying nice and still. It's normal to wobble or even fall out of a pose. Definitely don't be hard on yourself if you're feeling like you get to a place and you're like, this is not working. Just see if you can stick with it, okay? The more we do something, the more normal it feels like in our body. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands down to the mat, or again, you can use yoga blocks under your fingers. Start to straighten out your front leg, flex back through your right toes. Oof. and then fold. So if you're really tight, you need a little bend in that front right leg. Take it. Neutralize your neck. If you haven't been in your body a lot lately, just notice what your body says to you. I can say that when I step away from my yoga practice for a few days, sometimes weeks, I feel awkward when I get back to my body. But it's the repetition. It's day 2, it's day 3 that I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I do this. Let's rebend into our front knee. You can do this one of 2 ways. You can keep the back left knee on the ground, or you can tuck your back toe and lift the knee. So that's up to you. I'm going to keep my knee grounded today. Ground your left hand down and just turn your right hand up to the sky, and you're twisting here. Okay, looking down. If you feel really out of balance, it's really a good habit to have. Rinse out your spine. Notice where your body talks to you in each pose. And if the mind is all over the place, come to your breath. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Take one more breath here. Let's circle our right hand back to the yoga mat. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and press back. Downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths between sides here. Find your eyes somewhere between your toes. Can you just pick one little speck on your mat and keep your eyes still without letting them bounce around? Really mindfully lift your left leg to the sky. Keep the hips nice and even to start so you can feel this transition. Bend your left knee and then roll your left hip on top of the right a little bit here without turning your shoulders too much. Lift your knee to the sky. It's like you're going to kick yourself in the butt. Take a big breath in. Bring your left knee to your chest. Look between your hands and step forward. Get that foot all the way forward so the knee is above the heel. Lower the back knee down to the ground. Relax the back toes. When you're ready, you're slowly going to crawl your hands up onto your front left thigh. Square your hips and shoulders. Focus your eyes on something not moving. And again, pad the back knee if you need to. Make sure the back knee is back behind you a little bit. And if you're ready for more, we reach our arms up. Turn the palms to face each other. Keep your eyes really still. The eyes, when we're feeling jittery, they'll bounce all over the place. So if you came to your mat today not feeling super relaxed, you're feeling like you're here to relax, let's start with keeping the eyes nice and still. Bring your breath into your practice if it's gotten shallow. In and out through your nose. Anytime you need to release stress, it's a big through your mouth. Big circle through your arms. Let them come down to either yoga blocks or the ground. Shift your hips back. Straighten your front legs. Square your hips and shoulders. Fold in. Pull your toes back. Be aware if you need to bend your knee, you do so. And this back knee is pretty much be below my hip. So we're not sitting all the way back here. And these little tiny baby things. Our bodies are not the same as each other's. They're not going to look the same when we're doing our practice. But we're kind of using the cues as guidelines to kind of where we're trying to be. Let's rebend our front knee. Okay, back knee can be lifted. If you did it on the other side, do it here. Ground your right palm. Lift your left hand up. And I should mention this bottom shoulder, I want you to pull it down the back. Don't let it twist with you, okay? Keep it stable and in place. Relax your neck. Don't take tension there. Fingers are active. Even the toes are active. Breathing. It's funny. Some days I feel super supple and some days I feel like the Tin Man. It doesn't matter which body you came to your mat with today, maybe somewhere in between. Just doing the work, not pushing it. Circle your hand back down to the ground, tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and exhale back towards downward facing dog. And we're going to do what's called a vinyasa. So you'll inhale, come forward into plank. Do your plank, maybe the knees are down. Exhale, slowly lower. The elbows stay in tight to your side body. Ground your feet, take an inhale into a cobra, and press all the way into child's pose. Surrender. Nice job. All right, let's peel ourselves up onto our shins, and we're coming down onto our back. As you come and make your way down onto your back, just bring your knees in to start. Rock gently side to side, just massaging the back out. Again, this is just an intro to your practice. It's more of a beginner level, just slow going practice, okay? As time goes on, maybe you just stick with this. This is enough. Let's take our left foot to the ground, our right leg to the sky. Flex your ankle, hands interweave behind the belly of the hamstring. For those of you that know this stretch with a strap, you can use a strap, or you can even take hammock stretch with a strap. Opposite left leg stretches out if the lower back is happy with that. Okay, your right hands can be anywhere behind your right leg, but really do think about lengthening through the back of the right leg here. So yeah, a yoga practice doesn't have to be super complicated, crazy looking poses. It can just be slow and stretching and breathing. A time to come back to the basics. Beautiful. Bend your left leg. Cross right ankle over left thigh. Take your hands to your thighs first and just kind of push your hips open. This is such a relief for my hip and my lower back. I love doing this before I go into a hip stretch. If this is a lot for you, you might stay right here. Keep your right ankle flexed. If not, lift up your left leg. Interweave your hands behind the belly of your left hamstring. Use your biceps to pull in a little bit. Relax your neck and shoulders. Let's be here for about 10 breaths. We store a lot of emotions, old memories, all of our past in our hips. Some of it great memories, some of it not so great. So I want you to use this practice to really energetically let go of the things that don't work for you anymore. Okay, old habits, old ways of thinking, perceptions people have of you, the old you. We're moving into every day, every breath, a new version of ourselves. Come back to a little bit more consistent breath practice right now. In and out. Maybe you can keep that breath through your nose. I like to stay focused by just saying, I am inhaling, I am exhaling. Let go of that first side, let it be. Left leg to the sky, flex your left ankle, hands interweave behind the back of the leg. Again, feel free to use your strap. If you have a strap practice or you have one handy, opposite right leg lengthens out if that feels okay. If it feels too intense, keep the knee bent. Reach up through the back side of your left leg, pull your toes back, relax your neck and shoulders. We don't want to transfer tension, we want to dissolve it. There are a lot of quiet moments in our practice. Only invite thought in that is something that belongs here on your mat with you. Goal setting, actively releasing, but not doubt, fear, worry. Don't let it have a place on your mat with you. Let this be a vacation from whatever you're going through today. Let's bend our right leg, cross left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Start with a big flex in your left ankle, hands to thighs. Press your hands into your thighs here. I don't know about you, but I just feel like this creates so much space for me. All right, you can stay here if you like. Otherwise, weave your hands behind the belly of your right hamstring. So yes, your left hand is through that little triangle of your legs. Pull in as much as you get a good deep stretch. Relax your neck and shoulders. If you're here and you can't keep your head on the ground, put something under your head so you have some support. So lots of us are tight and we're like this. Well, that feels absolutely terrible. So allow yourself to feel supported. You see all these yoga props, blocks and bolsters and straps. What are they there for? They're there to assist you. It doesn't mean you're any less of a yoga practitioner. Actually, I always find I didn't want to do anything specific with props today because I really wanted this to be available to all intro, but they're there for support. And when you become more of an advanced yogi, you're using a lot of props. I will say it like that because when I'm teaching in a classroom, I see a lot of people not use any props. They can do it all without a prop. But then once you realize how much the props help you, that's the advanced level, right? So not saying I can do it all without, but there is a possibility, like today's practice, I wanted to tailor this to you so you could do it if you don't have access to any props. And props might not, it could be a pillow, a blanket, a belt. There's other things that you can use. Let's release that second side. Oof. Just take your feet to the ground nice and wide, the width of your yoga mat, and swish your knees back and forth a few times. This motion will really help your lower back kind of unwind. We're going to take a little bit of a deeper twist to kind of bring our practice to a close. So the knees come in, drift them over towards left, right shoulder anchors down, maybe the gaze is to the right and the left hand is on the thighs. I definitely encourage you just to close your eyes as we wind down. There's nothing to see up here. We twist to detoxify, to release stress, tension, to find health in our spine, to help our organs reset. I like it as kind of the end of a practice. Good. Bring your knees through center and twist them across to the opposite side. Rinsing out what is not serving your highest purpose. Beautiful. Bring your knees back to center. Give them a little hug. Take a deep breath in. Squeeze your whole body. Maybe the nose moves up towards the knees. Maybe your hands reach across for opposite feet or opposite elbows. Squeeze in at the top of your breath. Sip in a little bit more. Hold and squeeze. Push anything that's not working for you out of your body. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And exhale, let it go. Start here by stretching out onto your back. Let's bring one hand to our belly and one to our chest to connect to ourselves. Close your eyes. Take a moment to adjust, but then really do dedicate to stillness. If you're new to the practice, it's not over yet. Don't turn off the camera. Don't turn off the computer. This is the most important part of your practice. So never, ever, ever, ever let this part go. Take one more active breath in through your nose. Sigh it out with the exhale. Release all effort. Release the effort in your breath as well. The final pose of rest is known as Shavasana, or corpse pose. As we practice that being still for eternity. It's also the opportunity to let go of everything that you just did, whether it resonated or it was totally bonkers, if it was too easy or too hard, just let it go. In your mind's eye, just say to yourself, I am ready, I am willing, I am open to receive. I am ready, I am willing, I am open to receive. I am ready, I am willing, I am open to receive. We pause in stillness here, letting ourselves soak in the practice. Our body memorizes what we've done. Our body lets go of what we don't need, but our minds rest. Start to deepen your breath. Just bring your awareness back into the space, wiggling fingers and toes. Licking your lips and opening and closing your mouth. Stretching through the arms and the legs. Bending one knee and then the next. Roll to your right side. Let your right arm be a pillow. You can keep your eyes closed. This is a pose of new beginnings. Restate your intention. If you cannot remember your intention, it's time to set a new one. Be very clear and precise with your intention because it is already manifesting within. Really mindfully keep your eyes closed and travel up to a seated meditation where we began. Hands come out to the knees this time, palms turn up, thumb touching index finger, eyes remain closed. If you need your cushion, please grab it. Going back to your breath, back to the beginning. Inhaling from the base of the spine up to the crown of the head. Breath moves around the top of the head and exhales back from the top to the bottom, down the back body. We'll add a mantra in here to finish. As you inhale up the front body, the mantra is so, S-O, just in your mind quietly. As you exhale, it's hum, H-U-M, so hum. Inhaling up the front body, so. Exhaling down the back body, hum. So hum means I am. Inhaling so. Hum as you exhale. I am. Not needing to complete that sentence, but just letting it be I am. Feel a sense of peace and calm in your being as you sit these final moments of your practice. With the eyes closed, notice what is happening behind the closed eyes, the space known as Chitta Kasha, sacred space. So special, it's the only place in this world just you can see. So as you inhale, hum as you exhale. Let's give it about one more minute here. Stay with it. Slowly bring your hands together. Just start to rub your hands. Rub your hands until you feel heat. Once you feel some heat, just stop moving your hands and move them just slightly apart from each other and really notice how you can feel the energy between your palms. It's magical. Okay, let's rub them again. Get that heat going. This time, stop moving your hands and slowly move them apart until you start to lose that feeling of energy. But you might be surprised of how far you can move your hands apart, still feeling the energy between your hands. Try not to watch, just do it with your eyes closed. Let this be just a reminder that energy is surrounding us and we are in its field at all times. So this time, rub your hands. Pick one spot on your body that needs some healing, powerful energy and place your hands there. Wherever they go, you might know, oh yeah, I need this at this place, or might not know. Just put your hands on your body somewhere. Okay, receive your own positivity, your own healing energy. This last one, we rub our hands. We're going to turn our hands out just to share that beautiful energy that we built today together with each other. Maybe your family, your friends, your neighbors, anybody who needs it. Bring your hands together right in front of your heart. This is called Anjali Mudra. Seal it in. All the stuff you did today, Take a deep breath and just let it go. Bow, chin towards chest. Just a sign of gratitude. And that gratitude today is for showing up to your mat. That's the hardest part. Trust me, I know. So as you bow in, you just feel, I am so grateful that I did this today, whether it was what you were expecting or you had no idea, I don't know. And we seal this practice every single time with this word namaste. And it means may the divine in me greet and honor the divine in you. Namaste, friends. I hope you enjoyed your practice today, whether you just wanted to slow it down or you're new to this practice. I am happy to be here with you. Please drop me a line, a comment, any questions you may have, and I cannot wait to continue this journey with you. Have a very blessed day. Namaste, friends.